Are you ready for my top must-own running backs for 2019 fantasy football? Top 5 running backs. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. Before we get into all of that real quickly, guys, you need to get into Monkey Knife Fight. You can find them at monkeyknifefight.com. And exciting, this is daily fantasy to a whole new level. If you enter promo code Smitty, fans get instant 100% deposit match up to $50. Use promo code Smitty. Monkey Knife Fight brings you prop style games online. You pick your favorite players over under, head-to-head action. It is such a new and exciting way to play DFS. Make sure you get on to monkeyknifefight.com, enter promo code Smitty, and start playing DFS prop style games online. Okay, my number one must-own running back in 2019, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook to me will be one of those players in retrospect you'll be like, man, this guy should have won in the top 5 or 7 overall. He was drafted there once upon a time. Last year, he left a lot of people hanging, got injured. He's far removed from the ACL injury. I'm not concerned about that. And while many will label him as very injury prone, I think all of that injury risk is packaged into a second round value. It's all baked in. Dalvin Cook can win you a league, plain and simple, at second round value. And if he disappoints a little bit, you still get your value back. If he disappoints a lot, you're not that far off. If he hits a home run and becomes the top 5 to 7 overall player that I think he can be, you win your league. I'm not shy about drafting Cook even at the top of the second round. When you have the 11 pick overall and you almost have those bookend picks, I'll take Mike Thomas and Dalvin Cook. Try and get Cook as late as you can. That's the advantage of Dalvin Cook in 2019. His ADP is tremendous. Don't reach too high. If you have the 11 pick or the 12 pick, essentially bookend picks, then you're forced to take him at one of those picks. You're forced to take him a little high, and that's okay. He's worth it. But if you have the 15, the 17, you're in luck in 2019 because Dalvin Cook oftentimes falls. One of my favorite running backs in 2019 to own. I can't wait for his explosion in 2019. Next up, Nick Chubb with Kareem Hunt. I can't preface enough, and I love how insane people get when you tell them to draft Kareem Hunt. There are two types of people in this world. I've come to conclude. Those that will draft Kareem Hunt, even though he's missing half a season, and those that will not. I don't think there are other ways to define the human race. And the people that are vocal are the ones that won't draft Kareem Hunt. They are so vocal, they'll be here in the comments saying, why would you draft a guy on half a season? Well, guess what? You probably play in a Yahoo league where you have 5 or 6 running backs. I don't play in those very often. I don't like when someone limits my running back space. I like to load up all my running backs. I own like 7, 8, 9 running backs on a lot of my teams. Now, if you play in a Yahoo league, then you probably can't draft Kareem Hunt. I get it. Know that. But if you play in a league where you can hold even 4 or 5 bench running backs and your plan is to draft Nick Chubb, you better get Kareem Hunt. It's not about Kareem Hunt outplaying him. It's not about Kareem Hunt taking his job. It's about that Nick Chubb is a very injury-prone type running back that's very aggressive and has an abusive rushing style and will be overworked heading into the double-digit weeks when Kareem Hunt will be ready to come back. And if Nick Chubb gets hurt, and I would say it's a lot more likely that he gets hurt in double-digit weeks, guess what? You don't miss a beat. Kareem Hunt is just as good. That's what it's about. Even if he was playing for the full 16 games, your hope is that you don't ever have to use Kareem Hunt. And even if he wasn't suspended, maybe you wouldn't have used him, but you still would have drafted him in that scenario. So let go of the fact that he's not playing for half a year and understand that the duo together guarantees you top 5 to 10 running back numbers. Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb are two of my favorite second round running backs. If you have to go running back in the second round in 2019, I love Nick Chubb with Kareem Hunt and I love Dalvin Cook. David Montgomery jumping up my draft board. Every single day, I feel like I'm ranking this guy higher and higher and higher, and for good reason. This guy could get drafted in the 20 to 27 range very soon. As soon as he shows flashes of brilliance on the field, watch everybody jump on the hype train, just like everybody's jumped on the Kerryon Johnson hype train, and they're shoving Kerryon Johnson's value up into almost a ridiculous range. I like Kerryon, and he makes a fine third rounder, but people are talking about drafting him in the second round or keeping him at second round keeper type value. Everybody's soon going to be excited about David Montgomery like they are Kerryon Johnson. Mark my words. And if you think he's not a good value in the 3rd round right now, I think you're going to be sadly mistaken when push comes to shove. Don't spend 2nd round value on him yet on the regular, but start planning on paying that kind of value, or at least value at the top of the 3rd round if you want to own David Montgomery in the middle of August. I'm willing to pay that price. I think he's going to be that good. My boy Devin Singletary is so undervalued right now. Just wait. Soon people will find out why they call this guy Devin the Motor Singletary. He is one of the quickest running backs from left to right. And while many people will talk about that he doesn't have elite off-the-line speed, you can't buy this kind of quickness. And once he shows what he can do on the field, people are going to get really excited, and his ADP is going to shoot up. Trade for this guy now in Dynasty and get ready for this guy to emerge as a very good flex running back in 2019. I can't wait. And at his double-digit round ADP, you can't go wrong. He is pure upside right now. Take advantage of it. Jaylen Samuels and Benny Snell excite me a ton. I love the combo. Again, another move you can't do if you play in a Yahoo league with very small rosters, but if you play in a league that you can house and hold a grip of running backs, making a running back store and maturing and developing these running backs until they become value that you could trade for a wide receiver 2 or higher. Jaylen Samuels and Benny Snell are this year's version of James Conner and Jaylen Samuels last year. Tons of red flags, I think, riddle James Conner's situation, and Samuels and Eddie Faulkner, the new running back coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, coached Jaylen Samuels in college, made him a very good wide receiving back. He's going to want to use his boy all over the field. The duo is a must, Samuels and Snell, because I think that one of those guys will start not just a couple games, but a grip of games in 2019. That's my prediction. And if I'm wrong, they don't cost you any kind of value that makes you lose your league. But if either of these guys land, you can win your league with this kind of foresight. Samuels and Snell. Grab both of these guys in 2019. The last running back I'm going to talk about, must-have running backs for 2019 fantasy football, Damien Harris. It may take him a little time to get a hold of starting touches in that Patriots offense. It could take him half a year. It could take him 2 weeks. I don't know. We don't know the answer to that. Everything will depend on how long Sony Michel can stay healthy with those bad knees. This is why almost every NFL team passed on the guy over and over again, because of the knees. Damien Harris was once thought to be a better prospect back in December and January than Josh Jacobs. Now, given that Jacobs landed in the better situation, of course everybody thinks Jacobs will be better, but Harris has more of a resume coming out of college. Harris is just as good between the tackles. Harris fits a mold that New England doesn't have. They're using almost a James White type hybrid between the tackles and Michel, but I think they're going to want to use Damien Harris between the tackles once he gets going. He could be a force down the stretch in 2019 fantasy football. Grab him in double-digit rounds, very late double-digit rounds, and go get him in Dynasty. I like Damien Harris a lot. Of all these running backs, Dalvin Cook feels like the one that has the most home run hitting ability. I say that because he could go in the 18 to 15 range overall and can get you top 5 overall value. The cheapest grabs here, of course, Singletary and Samuels and Snell, and they have win a league home run potential. I like Montgomery. I think his value climbs. Nick Chubb's going high and has risk, but if cuffed to Hunt, you're safe, and Damian Williams costs you nothing. These are my top must-have running backs heading into 2019 fantasy football. Subscribe, follow, get some. Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.